coaching this generation's real estate superstars. Harris Real Estate University.
Look on the next page and you're going to see a real good visual of the difference between the poor, the middle class, and the rich. Look at that page for a second and tell me what you see as the key number one difference. Assets make you rich, not a job. That's right. One time when my son was younger, we had just started playing Cash Flow Quadrant. He's 16 now. And we drove by this place, you know, they have the playhouses outside. He said, "Oh, Mom, let's stop." I said, "Okay, we'll stop and look at those playhouses." And I said, "But let me ask you something, Press. Is that playhouse an asset or liability?" And he thought about it for a second. He said, "Oh, man, it's a liability." And I said, "Really? Why is it a liability?" He said, "Because it won't make me any money." So teach it to your kids. Teach your kids that there's a difference in where they put their money. It's either assets or liabilities. Boy, don't you wish somebody had taught you, and some of you may have been blessed to have someone teach you this early on, but I would have loved to learn early on that there's choices about whether I put my money in assets or liabilities. So I love that visual because it makes it real clear on where your money comes in and how it goes out as to what you're doing with it. Look on the next page. Here's the two things that we can do with money. Now, I'm going to assume everybody in here makes good money. You wouldn't be here otherwise. So you got the making money part down. In fact, some of you I know are going to teach me a thing or two because I've been talking to you inside dialogues and you got some great ways that you make money. And so we're always going to be open and looking for those ways to make money or buy assets that will throw off this passive income. And so here's the two choices we have with our money. Number one is you can lend it to someone, preferably not family. We all have those, right? And then second, you can buy something with it. Just kidding, that's not really what it meant. So number one, as a general rule, lending your money is safer than buying an ownership interest in something with it. Therefore, the rate of return you can expect to receive on lending investments will be what? Lower than the potential rate of return on owning investment. It's the old risk-return trade-off. So what do they mean when they say we could loan our money? What are they really talking about there?
Bonds.
Bonds, mutual funds, something that we could, that's us lending our money, quite honestly. And it's a very low risk, but it's also a very low return. And then number two is owning or equity investments, on the other hand, provide fewer guarantees, and owning investors' cash flow is not, an owner or investor's cash flow is not protected. Number three, experience has shown that on average, owning or equity investments, particularly stocks and real estate, have created the best long-term investment returns for most people. Okay? But let's read on to number four. Most of the affluent in America are business owners, including self-employed professionals. 20% are retirees. Of the remaining 80%, more than 2/3 are headed by self-employed owners of businesses. Okay? So what are the three things that Kiyosaki says that you can do to buy? What three forms can you do to put your money into assets to return some passive income? What does he say? You know his favorite is real estate. By the way, I asked him one day and he said that's the one he makes the most money from at that time anyway. The second one is what? Does anybody know what his second one is? Owning businesses. And then the third one is what? Lending money or stocks or whatever, wherever you put your money in that direction. Okay, so look on the next page.